Hello and welcome to the RWBY Radio Podcast. Back once again. It's getting near the end of the season. Things are hotting up and I don't think any of us expected that episode, but boy did it entertain. As we go through to run for another episode and go wild on theories and speculations, I of course am joined by an amazing guest as always, the one and only amazing Sunny Lil Dragun. Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Hey there!
Right, as always, running through this is spoilers for the most recent episode of RWBY Volume 7, which is episode 10, Out in the Open, which, if I'm correct in saying, at 15 minutes long, it's the shortest episode of the volume, I think? It wasn't exactly a long episode, was it?
No. It surely didn't feel like a long episode. It had a lot of action, and that was, like, really, really, really cool.
The last few episodes, like, with the exception, I was going to say, worst case scenario had a little bit of action in it, but Cordially Invited and As Above, So Below, they had basically, it had been almost all talking, hadn't it? And then suddenly we just go complete opposite end of the spectrum with this, boom, action everywhere.
Yeah, like, it's, this volume, I feel like they said Volume 7 to be a lot more of a talking volume, because there's a lot of stuff going on between Atlas and Mental, and sometimes action doesn't fit in really well. It would feel kind of forced, like boom, boom, have these explosions while we have.
That was one of the things with Volume 5, wasn't it? Really, they often struggled to get not so much the politics, but struggling to get the pacing between talking and action, and we kind of really saw that with the finale of 5, like the Haven fight. That was it, far too much talking at times, and you feel, especially with this episode, they've got they managed to get the perfect balance from going from episodes, especially the last one that was very heavy on talking, to this one where we've gone complete opposite. And I was gonna say, as the intro closes and we go straight into the episode, boom, we're instantly straight in with the action, aren't we?
Yeah.
As it opens, this tracking shot, this massive long tracking shot we get Atlas soldiers taking out Grimm in the streets. You then get this fantastic look upwards. You get all the ships fighting the weird, is it the pterodactyl Grimm? And then you get the people trying to run through the city, and they're trying to avoid the Goliaths, and the Goliaths are charging through, and then it cuts to the Happy Huntresses. That was all done that's all one shot. So we get this amazing, fantastic one-shot track all the way through the city. We get the Grimm fighting, we get the aerial fight, we get more and more Goliath charging through, and we get the Happy Huntresses trying to protect who they can. And as we get one of the Saber Grimm go to charge at one of them, we get Nora flying in the most dramatic way.
I love her.
How long was she waiting up there to do that? Like, was she just waiting, like, okay, I'm gonna pick you. So as we get Nora, it's one of the teams is Nora, Marrow, and Weiss, and as they're protecting civilians, we get the shot from the teaser of them looking disheartened as another group of Grimm charges them. We then cut to Blake trying to outrun a Goliath. We get Blake dodge multiple Ursa. We finally get. We don't really see it much, but for a split second we finally get Lightning Blake. We get her use her fire. Is it Ice? I think her last one is. Yeah, it's Ice. So we get her dodge. Come on, we want Lightning Blake again. We want Fire Blake. We want Lightning Blake. Come on, it's so cool.
She's so cool. I can't like Blake. You know
that
there's just one word to describe her. Blake
rounds the corner, the Goliath misses slightly and crashes in, and we get the gift shot that the RWBY Twitter tweeted out before as like as hype for the show, and a lot of people had premised that Blake's got to be setting up a trap here, and we get her run into one of that. She dodges out the way, and we get Elm flipping just full on hold the entire Goliath in the air. Whoa! I love that scene. That is great.
How strong is she?
Well, I was going to say, it's...
Oh my god.
they haven't exactly said what her semblance is called, but I'm going with the name Root because that's what that's what we kind of see her do. She kind of puts her feet down and she can kind of like root herself into the ground, basically, can't she? Yeah. And so she basically channels all the strength and pushes the Goliath up, and we get Yang slide in and use her remote detonations as she just laces the elephant's belly, the Goliath's belly, and then flipping Elm just yeets it up into the sky, like just tosses it up like it's nothing, like a 20-ton Grimm, only for Yang to blow it up. And so we get Yang and Blake try to get more civilians out of the way, and they note that there not going to be enough room in the shelters soon. And as they do, we cut to Clover and Crow on a rooftop, of which Clover, we suddenly get Clover saying there's new orders, and they suddenly shoot off, and that's the last we see of them for pretty much the entire episode. And I remember seeing this point and thought, is Ironwood going to do something evil here? Is this where Ironwood's like, they're going to pull out a mantle? Let me tell you, no, like, I was going to say, no, spoilers for later. You already know what's going to happen. But like, we're going to get back onto Ironwood and Robin playing everyone. So we cut back to Weiss and Nora's team they're evidently in some sort of small square or gap between the wall and the city, and it's basically an evacuation zone. And we get Weiss nearly cut Marrow's tail with her White Knight, of which we get a fantastic little scene of Weiss looking embarrassed. And we get all these citizens who are basically literally pressed up against the wall. And we get them, why aren't they evacuating us? We get Faunus ask why they're just letting us die. And we get Nora try to explain, we're doing all I can, you just got to give us more time. And before they can get angrier at Nora, we suddenly get the cut to the screen, and we suddenly get Robin and Ironwood's speech. And just, damn, what a moment.
That scene of Ironwood and Robin, like, I was like, wow, it was so good. People, like, you can see that people are like regaining hope and all of that, and they did it really well. Yeah, like when Ironwood said that the communications tower was ready, I was like, bitch, are you sure about that?
So like, and it's Ironwood and Robin is using her semblance on Ironwood. Because you can see the green glow, and it's essentially it's Robin saying everyone's just support Ironwood, and then Ironwood laying out the truth of Salem exists. This is why I've done all this. We need to band together to beat her, and we get this fantastic sort of almost montage of it. Cuts through the city. We get Harriet and Ruby who've teamed up, and you get Ruby looking on in awe and admiration as kind of Ironwood reveals the truth, and it kind of cuts through the city of everyone doing this. We get Renjorn and Vine, of which we get Jean's awesome moment of flipping being the school attendant paying off as he tells everyone to march single file in line. That was adorable.
That was so cute. Like,
also, I want to point out, flipping Vine holds back like 20 Grimm on his own. He does his flipping semblance and just pins them to the wall and just, nope. I want to point out in this moment though, okay, it's a great little moment of Jean telling the kids to keep moving, and he powers up Ren so he can hide them all. Why did they were all pinned to the wall? Why didn't they just go up and slash them? What Jean is pure of heart, dumb of ass. I'm still saying it.
Can I be angsty for a minute?
Oh god, you're gonna be anyway, aren't you?
Like, Jean being good with kids, like, kind of makes you imagine, like, what if Pyrrha was alive and they got to have a family, and how good of a dad he would be, you know.
You had to go and say it, didn't you? You had to go and say it. We're not even like 20 minutes into this podcast. No, we're already going for the angst. Oh no, we've already got a pile on the angst. Oh, thank you. Not only that's my job to do this. Not only is my job to torment people. No, I should have known. I'd invite Sunny on the podcast. I'd invite Sunny on the podcast. That'd be nice. Flipping nope. She cranks up the angst in under 20 minutes. Anyway, moving on. So, as Ironwood's giving this speech, we suddenly cut. We get Neo and Cinder in their room, and they are shocked because Ironwood reveals that Tyrion and Watts are in the city. And it goes around, and basically this is the moment of the heroes regaining the front foot and the villains suddenly going on the back foot. Despite the fact this has been Atlas, where the good guys have had almost every single advantage, they've been on the back foot almost every step of the way. And you get the feeling this is the first step where they've kind of taken the lead now.
Yep. And
so we get Watts and Tyrion looking disheartened that they've been found out. And as we get the montage go through, we suddenly get Tyrion extremely angry with the line, "The Grimm was supposed to destroy our enemies, not unite them together." And we get them theorize their new plan. Now, this is the part where I want to point out, when in his speech, Ironwood mentions the Amity Arena communication tower is ready to go, the screen zooms in on him. So you can't see that he's now lying. So Robin's hand would have gone red.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that.
If you look at it, when he says that line, it is a close-up of his face. Now, here's the thing, a really smart thing they've done in... This is why I want to give... I'm going to get onto this in a bit. I'm going to wax lyrical about this in a bit. Why Robin and Ironwood's plan here is perfect. But it's multiple bits in the speech. It's done a close-up of either Robin or Ironwood, so it doesn't seem amiss. But at the exact moment, it's zoomed in on his face, so you can't tell. So the people watching think he's still telling the truth. And of course, Watts and Tyrion buy this hook, line, and sinker. You instantly get Watts come up, and he's going through all the hacked files he got. And evidently he saw they had it under Amity Arena refurbishment, and he ignored it because he just thought the arena was being refurbished. He's lamenting how they get this passed, and they come up with a new plan. And Watts tells Tyrion, we need more chaos. And Tyrion goes, more chaos and a Grimm invasion. And we get this fantastic line from Watts, if anyone could bring that, it would be you. And we get this very creepy moment where Tyrion looks at Robin on the screen, and his tail is almost poking the screen as he plans his next bit. Oh, that was...
Yeah, like, I was like, no. No, you won't. Please don't. I just really hope no one dies. Like,
you were the one who brought up Pyrrha. I'm just saying it. It's not that sort of show, sadly.
But like Pyrrha is already dead. Now I'm looking at the people who are alive.
So we cut back to Nora's team. Nora, Weiss, Mara, the Happy Huntresses. And we suddenly get the crowd cheering. Really nice touches. You see some of the civilians picking up rifles from the fallen robots, like to take up arms. That's a really nice touch. Which once again, as you said, the like backgrounds and crowds in RWBY last two volumes have picked up so much. And so as we get Tyrion and Watts come up with their new plan, we suddenly also go to our other villainous duo. We get Cinder and Neo, and we get Cinder furious that she's been beaten to this, because back in Volume 6, Vacuo was intended the next step of this plan. Sword of Destruction was what they were going to go after in Shade Academy. And Cinder just wasn't expecting them to come to Atlas.
And I was thinking, and people are expecting Salem to go to Atlas, but what if her real plan is to go to Vacuo while her henchmen, while Watts and Tyrion are causing chaos in Atlas, and like
What, you mean just take Vacuo through sheer force? Like with the entire
yeah,
army?
yeah,
Oh,
like
shit!
she was building her army of
The
those
flying monkeys, yeah, the
winged.
Berengals.
Yeah,
Oh, shit,
yeah,
like, if this entire
and then
time she's just been crushing Vacuo.
yeah, like not, I don't know if this entire time she's there, but like the post credit scenes is like her arriving at the desert of Vacuo with her army of Grimm and heading
Shade
to the
Academy.
city.
Oh, no! Okay, like, for like the way the direction the plot's going, I'm not sure if that will happen. But on the other hand, if it did, that would be freaking amazing. Just like the reveal at the end of the volume is just like, hey, we won an Atlas. Guess what? We still lost though because Vacuo is just about to get steamrolled and we can't get there in time. Oh damn! Ooh. That is a genius idea. Whilst my brain melts at that possibility, going back to the episode, we get Cinder and Neo. We get Cinder with the line, the timeline is moved up. And I think this is directly referring to both Salem's original plan and her and Neo's plan. This whole timeline's moved up. Because what I think
Yeah,
Cinder's referring to is the original plan that Salem evidently had that was Beacon, Haven, Shade, then Atlas. And I believe it's also her and Neo's plan. Because this is happening the same night as Cordially Invited, right? When Neo was sneaking around the manor.
yeah,
It doesn't look like they were planning to do anything more this evening. And now suddenly they get this message, and then suddenly they're going to have to make their move a lot quicker than they wanted to.
yeah. So I was thinking, how will the fight between him and either Cinder
Neo.
or Neo be? Like, how would that go?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing you got to wonder, because we suddenly get Cinder gives Neo the order. You've got to go. The farm boy's got the lamp. You've got to go after him. The fantastic transformation again as she uses her semblance as she turns into
yeah,
RWBY. Was anyone expecting this? Did we know she could turn into other people? Like, and we basically get it as her communicating, right? Her saying to Cinder, why aren't we going after RWBY? And we get Cinder
yeah,
basically have a strop and put her foot down. And Neo's
yeah,
kind of mute response is, I'm not happy with this. And Cinder kind of lays it out that she is going to go chasing after wherever the maiden is. Meanwhile, Neo needs to get the lamp.
I'm kind of scared for Winter.
That's
Like,
the thing. Where's Winter in all of this? We see her leave the manor in the last episode, but she doesn't go down to Mantle as far as we've seen. So surely she's got to be back up in Atlas, right?
yeah, I think she might be guarding the Winter Maiden, Fria. I
So
think she might be there with her. Because like last time that there was a fall, there there was this whole deal with someone going and killing the maiden and
taking her
gaining
powers,
the powers. Yeah. So so I think she's probably there.
Okay, so this is the question I've got, right? Does Cinder know exactly where the maiden is? Because she says that Ironwood is hiding the maiden. She doesn't, however, though, say she knows where it is. She says she'll find it, but she doesn't exactly say where it is.
Yeah.
So,
Like how far
Weiss and
did
Winter.
Neo go?
Oh right, did Neo go in like finding out stuff? Because that's the thing. I don't know how Jacques would know about it. And what Neo seems to know is what she's found out through being the maitre d', being the butler, being the waiting staff in the Schnee Manor. That's how she found out about the lamp. That's how she found out about the attack, right? I don't know if any of that will have tipped her off to the Winter Maiden.
Yeah, like, thing is, we don't know, like, for how long have they been in Atlas? Did Neo get the chance to infiltrate in the academy, infiltrate in the military spaces, and disguise herself as a person who works in that hospital, in that lab or whatever? Did she get a chance to do that?
With the level of security they showed in that hospital, I'm going to say she didn't. Because there were so many cameras, so many guards. I imagine that seems to be the sort of place where they'd have like biometric scans and everything. I get the feeling next episode will be Neo going after Oscar, which, as you mentioned earlier, it will be interesting. That will most likely, if Ozpin's going to return, that will be the moment, right? When Oscar has to try and fight for his life against Neo. I get the feeling it might be either Cinder going to Ironwood's office or Cinder just causing chaos to try and get the Maiden to come out.
Yeah, like, like, when a child throws a temper tantrum to get the parents to notice.
That is
them.
Cinder,
and
isn't
then,
it?
like, Cinder using her maiden powers and like, get out!
This is the thing.
Get me.
With Winter's got to be on Atlas, right? So surely, we're either going to get her running to try and get the maiden powers before Cinder, or we're going to get her versus Cinder, as she's going to like try and hold off Cinder as long as she can. Either way, oh damn.
I am getting pure up memories from like a character dear to me trying to hold Cinder off, and I don't like these memories that I'm getting right now.
As the scene moves on, we suddenly get the evacuation of Mantle as they're moving everyone up to Atlas begin. We get this fantastic, almost like the cavalry's coming in of the people getting evacuated. We get Penny flying over the city. We get Yang and Blake start to evacuate their lot. And as they go to get the people on the ship, there suddenly is a massive thunderous roar. We get Blake recognize it first. There is perk up, and there's a herd of Goliaths coming around the street. And then we get to the joint most badass moment of this episode for me, with Elm once again locks in her semblance, and her hammer can turn into a freaking rocket launcher. What the?
Oh my god, that moment, that single moment. Like, I love Elm so much. Like, in the beginning of this volume, I was like, ew, the Ace Ops. But now I love them so much, and if something happens to any of them, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine! And so her weapon like turns it, the staff kind of folds down, and it's this double-barreled rocket launcher. And she takes a moment to aim, and then she just fires both rockets, and it just wipes out the entire herd. And we get this great moment as the crowd cheers, and she just turns around and gives the A-OK sign.
I love her.
And then as we get Blake and Yang get the rest of them out, we see Penny fly over as this is another rumble, and we get Harriet and Ruby's group, and
that part. Oh my god!
As they go to leave, what I'm guessing is the super mega Goliath comes around the corner of this giant Grimm, and they go to evacuate their group when it comes charging at them, and at the last second Penny comes in, and we suddenly get the setup for this lovely team fight. We got Penny, Harriet, and Ruby go against them, and we suddenly get Indomitable play in the background, which I'm guessing was like the orchestral version, like the instrumental. And as it plays, we get RWBY close her eyes. She can't access her powers. She tries to concentrate. The kind of scream of the Grimm distracts her. And she breaks away from it and just goes, right, I'll fight it normally. I think one of the things I liked about this is it wasn't just, Volume 6 was her unlocking it and now she could just use it any time she wants. I think this was more kind of a scene of she still needs to practice it. She still needs to think about it. Because as great as RWBY is, I want to see RWBY laser beaming Grimm. That'd be amazing. It would kind of just get a little overpowered if what is arguably the biggest land Grimm they've ever faced, RWBY could take out in 2 seconds with her eyes.
Yeah, like the Grimm would stop looking like a threat, and like they would lose their purpose, and like the whole thing about this show is a Grimm lady. So the Grimm losing their purpose in the show and all of that would like be kind of bad.
We get RWBY shoots up to this rooftop and she starts laying down covering fire. We get Penny try to use her swords as like a buzz saw to cut through the Grimm, and as she tries to kind of anchor the Grimm with her like her swords on the cables, we get the moment of the Grimm just looks at her and then notices the cables and just full on yanks her away, like pulls her in and then smashes her across several buildings. Let me tell you, Penny screaming is a terrifying noise. It flipping sent fear through me. Imagine Volume 3, if as she died we had that scream. We would have been traumatized. Like,
yeah.
I mentioned this in Tumblr. I have never been these scenes. I've never gone from fear to laughter as quick as I did here. So we get Penny go flying off, and she crashes into the ground. We get RWBY burst into petals to get over to her, and she runs over to Penny lying smashed into the concrete, asks if you're alright, and we get her kind of a little light re-engage, and she just turns around and just goes, "Ouch." And then springs upright. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We get RWBY looking Ray stoic, and Ray, this is going to be a hard fight. And we get Penny with the mention of those tusks are dangerous. And we suddenly get RWBY come up with a plan. She turns to Penny, and we get the fantastic turn on every freaking movie, TV series, video game that does this, of someone says, "I've got a plan," and their teammate turns to them and goes, and just nods. Penny turns, smiles, and then goes, "What's the plan?" Oh my god, this moment was just so funny. Penny is such a great character for the fact the whole thing of android robot doesn't get human things. It's not so much she doesn't get it's almost like she's a child looking at these things. She doesn't get like the subtleties and stuff, and it's just her moment of, "What's the plan?" And the way she tilts her head is fantastic. Also, I need to check this. I might be wrong. I might be very, very wrong. However, the way Penny tilts her head right in this scene and raises her eyebrow, okay, I swear it is the same way RWBY was. I swear RWBY's done that like several times, of which I swear she did it quite a few times in Volume 1, 2, and 3. Is this a mannerism Penny's picked up from RWBY?
Oh.
Hang on, I'm going to take a screenshot of it now and send it to you. Because I was looking at this and I just thought, that looks really familiar. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to check. But the way just the raised eyebrow and the way she's got her head cocked to the side, it reminds me of RWBY.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Again, if I've proven this, if I'm wrong, if I've gone back and I'm wrong on this won't be in the podcast. If I'm right, it will be on the screen right now. There's something about it that just reminds me of RWBY, and I had this really sweet notion in my head that Penny's picked up a lot of mannerisms from RWBY. Anyway, there you go, Nuts and Dolt shippers. That one's for free. Moving on. So we cut back to the Grimm, and it's slowly making its way through the town. And Harriet's trying to take it out, and she dashes between its legs, and I think she's trying to grab one of its tusks so she can flip up and kick it in the face. Before she can, she just gets knocked aside, and she nearly gets crushed by the Grimm as it puts her hoof down to crush her. And as you said earlier, she gets knocked back, and we see her semblance cracked, her semblance of aura cracked. Which I thought she was more of a red color. She seems to be pink.
Yeah.
So as we get Harriet on the floor, and as the Goliath goes to finish her off, we suddenly get Penny zap it with one of her laser beams. And down this fantastic long street, we suddenly get Penny stand off against the Goliaths it charges. And we finally, for the first time in so long, we get to see Penny's mega laser beam from Volume 1 again.
Oh my god, yes.
The moment before she fires it, Penny's face is like, she's gone from cute and innocent to killer. Like, she can destroy you. Like, it's so cool to see this in action again. And like, the moment it hits, and then she just beams the Grimm with it.
Yep.
And despite the fact of how powerful her laser beam is, the Grimm is so big and powerful, it only slows it down. Its skull is that thick. Like its skull piece.
Yeah.
And we get Penny getting pushed back, and she takes 3 of her little swords out of the main, like, beam and starts a second smaller one, which she aims at the tusk. And as the tusk slowly heats up as the Grimm advances, RWBY calls Penny to stop. RWBY dashes in front, jumps in front of the Goliath between its tusks and its face, and where the tusk has gone red hot and malleable, she full on just breaks it apart with her scythe. Oh, that was cool. Yeah. Like her just dashing in between, so cool. And then just, nope, cut. And we get Penny fly up, grabs the tusk, slams it into the ground. RWBY cuts the Goliath's back leg so it rears, and it just falls onto the spike with a really sad, like, noise as it just disappears into dust. Oh, what a move! The moment
that Goliath knew it fucked up.
What a move, though! What a move!
No, like watching that, I was like, oh my god, yeah! Like it was such a good plan. Like, and I can't express how I was feeling in that moment, because like it was so awesome, and like the aftermath of that fight, and like the people embracing Penny again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as it finishes, we get the crowd come out, and then they're suddenly once again cheering. Now with Penny's name cleared, they're cheering the name of Mantle's protector, and we get this lovely moment of both RWBY and Harriet kind of give Penny this nod, and as all the other teams check in they've evacuated their area, they're moving on to the next one, we get Penny phoning the same, and we suddenly cut to it's Robin and Joanna, and they're getting rid of one, and Robin says to Joanna to get the people out. She's going to make a last check of their area, and she goes off on her own, running down this very, very creepy looking side alley, and then all of a sudden we see Tyrion is following from above, and you just think, oh no. Like, on the first watch, all you can think is, oh no.
My mind was, no, not her.
Because we know this fight has been coming, haven't we? We know that, like, Tyrion's gonna make his move.
I was looking, and like, I was expecting her to, like, already be with Crow or anybody else, like, and not, her going alone at first, and then Clover and Crow show up. Sorry.
So we get Tyrion land behind Robin, and Robin immediately turns around and brandishes her gauntlet, and we get Tyrion be his usual dramatic self. In which we get an awesome moment where Robin goes to fire and he just dodges out the way so calmly, and we get Tyrion in his usual, completely, utterly terrifying and creepy self, talking of how her bringing hope and whatever is disgusting to him, of which we also get him catch a crossbow bolt between his fingers, which is that's just showing off, and we get him bend the bolt, and he goes to charge at Robin, and she keeps firing off, and at the last second as he's screaming manically, we get a fishing hook suddenly fly in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Tyrion deflects it and jumps back as none other than, as you said, Clover and Crow jump down. And we get this,
Yeah.
I have to say, Christina V, I love this line from her. Sorry, Kalos, I really wanted to, I really wanted to beat you myself, but the general said I had to share. And we get the two of them with Clover saying you're not the only one with a grudge. And we get Crow's fantastic one of you're both going to have to get in line.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. First of all, like, the shot of the three of them is fantastic. We then get Tyrion look enraged as he goes to attack. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get back onto this later, but this is the plan. Robin and Ironwood set out a plan, and it is freaking genius, and I love it.
Yeah. The two of them work so well together, and I think that maybe both of them might be thinking, why didn't we work together earlier? You know, and we all know why it didn't work well earlier, because
Ironwood wasn't ready to listen. Ironwood was too close-minded, wasn't he? So this fight for the next episode is going to be amazing. So we've got Tyrion versus Robin, Clover and Crow. Now, I've seen instantly the theory has gone around 20 bazillion times that Clover is going to die. Okay, I am not going to discount this theory because I think it is still possible. Is this Tyrion we're talking about, who's a crazy lunatic who can poison anyone, who can rip through auras with his semblance, sorry. However, the main reason I've seen for the main argument I've seen for people saying why Clover is going to die is because he wasn't in the intro. As we know, the only shot left from the intro that hasn't been used has been Crow and Robin fighting Tyrion, right? I'm gonna give my personal opinion of why I don't buy that argument whatsoever. The reason in my head that Clover is not in that intro scene is it would give away this part of the plot. Wasn't half of this story how we didn't know if we could trust the Aesops and Ironwood? We didn't know which side they were going to fall on. So it isn't a whole thing. Imagine, just going to say, if like in the first episode, that one had also had Clover in, wouldn't that have given away so much?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not discount anyone who's got the theory that Clover might die in the next one to Tyrion. I'm not going to discount your theory because I think it is still possible. This is, as I said, it's Tyrion. He's a crazy lunatic. He's arguably the most powerful fighter when we're talking human faunus, whatever fight, like person to person. Because he can poison people, he's got ridiculously cool weapons, he's extremely athletic, extremely strong, and has a stupidly powerful semblance.
Yeah.
But that argument of he wasn't in the intro, so it's the reason they're not there. I just don't buy that. Like, the reason they're not there is they don't want to give anything away. Think about it, with the exception of this one shot, hasn't 90% of the trailer wasn't it used in like the intro and the trailer, wasn't it used in like the first 5 episodes? It was so we couldn't give anything away. However, I am still fearing for Clover. Like, he could still die, and that worries the crap out of me. Like, so you never know. So anyway, we're going to the final scene, and we're suddenly back with the Amity Arena over the mine, and we get Watts in his ship, and he flies up to it, and we get him walking around the arena through the back corridors. And I want to put, it's a very strange feeling watching this because you get all this construction equipment there and Watts walking through it. The last time we were here, Mercury was shooting Ruby, trying to stop her from saving Penny and Pyrrha.
Yeah.
Literally like 4 volumes ago. That's weird to think about. So we get him walking around, and we get him walk out onto the arena floor, and he's looking around, and you evidently think he's going to try and sabotage it. And he looks up and he goes, "This will do. though I wouldn't exactly call it finished. And as he says that, the doors out into the arena all slam shut. And the lights kick in. For what? Welcome. Flipping Ironwood. Who knew Ironwood was a theatre kid? Because he's sitting in the box being dramatic as rude word. He has been sitting there waiting for Arthur. And I'm sorry. The shot of the microphone, Ironwood behind it as it pans up as he says welcome. RWBY, that is amazing. Like, oh my god. This scene, Ironwood didn't need to go this hard. Ironwood didn't need to do all this. But Ironwood was like, I am going the extra mile. I'm going to sit in this booth. I'm going to make sure all the doors are locked out. I'm going to wait till he's exactly in the middle. And then I'm going to do this. Oh my god.
That's the man who hacked his stuff in Volume 3 and made Atlas look bad to the whole world. So Ironwood probably was waiting for this moment to finally get the one who had been framing him through Volume 7 and the one who ruined his fucking life back in Volume 3. It must have been such a satisfying moment for him to have Watts right in the middle of empty arena and get to say, welcome, Arthur.
It's such a great moment. First of all, Jason Rose, the voice actor for Ironwood, nails the scene. He's had a great volume. Absolutely, it must be having a blast of it. That moment was just amazing. But the whole delivery of Arthur Watts, welcome. And every bit about this is fantastic. And just also a shout out to Christopher Sabat, who is the voice actor for Watts. I love, one of my favorite things about this is Watts is not intimidated whatsoever. Watts has been literally, as he says in a moment, the arena wasn't finished, it was bait. But what we have is Watts immediately turn around and he's staring down Ironwood in the box and he's just like, bring it. Both the voice actors nailed the scene. The animators nailed the scene. Here's the thing. This episode was amazing. We had such a badass moment with RWBY and Penny. We had a fantastic moment with Yang, Blake, and Elm. So cool, them flipping, destroying the elephant by throwing it in the air. We had Elm absolutely nailing that scene. With a great moment of flipping Robin, Crow, and Clover fall interior. Flipping Robin and Ironwood's speech was amazing. But I'm sorry, this final scene nails it. It wins. Because it is literally the most stupid, over the top, over dramatic, fantastic scene you could possibly put. Because we suddenly got... We don't see Watts as a fighter. We do not see this tall, gangly guy as someone who can fight. But he just instantly stares down the general and literally walks him down. And as he slowly walks into the arena middle, we see him throw aside his bag. So he goes out of the arena, and we get Ironwood leap out of the commentary box and flipping superhero landing in the stadium center. I want to point out, he's jumped 50 meters or so in that. 25 meters at minimum. He has jumped an astronomical difference from where the box is to where he is. God damn, it's amazing. As you can tell, I kind of like the scene.
And it kind of sets up that we might see Ironwood's semblance this Saturday, and I wonder what that could be. You know, what is his semblance? And
it'll be interesting. I imagine we've got to see it at some point. And so, as we get our two combatants, we get this fantastic shot as they both enter the middle of the arena, and they slowly circle each other, and we get Arthur with this fantastic monologue of, this is a technological marvel, even before you did all this. The biomes, the stadium, and everything that goes into putting it together. And he turns on his little electrical manipulators, his ring things. I'm not sure what you call them. And he does this extremely overdramatic slap onto the ground. And then all of a sudden, the stadium whirs to life, and the biomes kick in. And this moment is amazing. And we see each of the floor bits slowly remove back, and each one clicks in, and it's gravity dust. And Ironwood goes to shoot Watts, but he has some sort of shield thing, like holographic shield on his wrist, and we get the bullet bounce off.
Yeah.
Jason Rose, you must have loved this line. Off, you are always a pain in the ass. And we get this moment as Ironwood tries to shoot Watts. He goes running away. He jumps down into one of the gravity biomes, and we get this fantastic one shot as each of the gravity areas slowly rises up next to Ironwood. And you see him pan around with his gun. And we suddenly got Watts way high above on one of the platforms as Ironwood's looking up at him. And we have this fantastic line. These two back to back, you are always a pain in the ass. And in this one, at the risk of sounding cliche, James, I'm not going to be going without a fight. And he pulls out the coolest looking revolver you've ever seen. What the ruddy hell is this revolver?
Oh my god, that gun is awesome. That gun is like it kind of looks like the lamp, the relic.
Yeah.
Like the looks are pretty similar, and like it looks awesome. Like it's I dare say that it's one of the most beautiful weapons in the show. Like one of the best looking ones, because like it's so cool. Like wow. And as you said, we haven't seen Watts fighting before, so I honestly don't know what to expect from that fight. I don't know what to expect, like how we would go and all of that. I think that it's quite possible that Watts will use the technology from the arena against James, like because James is this huge general guy, and what we don't see him fight anyone. He's and like Ironwood literally looks like he could do to what Hulk did to Loki in the Avengers, So like what will happen,
So
what
I've done a bit of research into this, because most of the guns in RWBY are based somehow off real life weapons. They normally they've got the basis in reality, and then they've gone over the top in fantastic ways. So this, I kid you not, this exact gun, except for the fantastic gold and blue Livy cover to it, is called, hang on, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, the Pistola con Casiato, which is a Spanish gun which has an 18 round cylinder.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's a real gun.
Send that to me.
Yeah, hang on, I will send you. I researched this. It looks so cool. I was just like, is this real? So apparently this is a real gun, but like the design of it, this massive gun, and it fits. It's got like his kind of like golden yellow color, and you've got these fantastic like glowing blue electrical lights to it. And I've got to give a shout here. The wonderful PatchoDraws had them on the podcast last week. I said we were talking the other day about this. They came up with a fantastic idea. What if Watts' weapon can disable Ironwood's cybernetics?
Oh.
Because Ironwood, it's definitely an entire leg and arm he has in cybernetics, and either it was placing or it's literally covering his internal organs for the entire one side of his body. Like,
Oh my god.
what if Watts can like disarm him temporarily? He's in trouble. But
Oh my god.
so as we get this moment,
my
we
God.
get Watts and we see him slap the barrel of the massive barrel of his gun as it's the cylinder of his gun as it spins round, and we see him point at Ironwood, and it spins, and at the last second he lets the hammer go and it stops, and it's cut to black. That's the end of the episode. Whoa! What a way to finish! What a way to finish!
Episode.
Like I've looked this up. It is the second shortest so far of this volume. Just after Coldly Invited, it is 3 seconds longer. So it's not exactly a long episode. Here's the thing, though. And what a setup for the next episode, right?
Yeah, I really don't know what to say. Like, this episode was really, really, really amazing. And like, I just really hope that none of the heroes die. Although I know it's quite possible because no one has died in a while. Like no one important has died in a while. Like from the heroes, of course.
Well,
because Adam the asshole Taurus died last volume.
Yeah, so... no one cares about him though.
Yeah. Like
I was gonna say we haven't had someone who's been on the good guy team die in since literally volume 3. We haven't had since Pyrrha, really.
Yeah.
So for the next episode, so it's evident that we're gonna get Ironwood versus Watts is gonna be a fight, and we've also got Tyrion versus Clover, Crow, and Robin. The other thing I've got is, so evidently Cinder and Neo are going to make their moves.
Yeah. And like,
where does the rest of Team RWBY and Junior fall into this? And my thing is, I think the start of next episode will be them trying to evacuate the last people in Mantle before it gets overrun. And then I think it will be them joining Winter or Oscar in trying to defend either one of them. And I think the teams might split up. I think one half might be going to try and stop Neo from killing Oscar and taking the relic. And I think the other half might be going to help Winter defend the facility from Cinder.
Yeah.
And that's got a lot of opportunities for angst, especially with the second one. Because imagine if Weiss is the one helping Winter defend.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Like, last time that Weiss was in a fight that had Cinder in it, like she almost died. Cinder almost killed her. Like we don't know if Winter knows of that, and like if she knows like last minute that Cinder almost killed Weiss, she will go like, I think that she will like be enraged, like she will like throw all of herself into fighting Cinder, because we have been seeing really more emotional parts of Winter this volume, and I think that seeing her reaction to knowing that her younger sister almost died would be a breaking point.
Yeah, like send her into a rage almost.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see on that one. But anyway, I think that concludes for another week on the podcast. Such a short episode, but so much to talk about. As always, we will be back next week. But before we go, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary pals, could we say a massive thank you to the wonderful Sunny for coming on the podcast. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Yeah, it was my pleasure to be part of this too. I love talking about RWBY and theorizing about this amazing show that has been a part of my life for a while now. So thank you for having me.
Well, you're always welcome on. If you do not know,
thanks.
Sunny does some wonderful RWBY fanfics, which of course you can find online. Sunny, where can we find your amazing writing, and where else can we find you online if people would like to follow you?
My fanfics can be found on Archive of Our Own. I go by the name of The Flaming Tiger, and on Twitter and on Tumblr I go as Sunny Lil Dragun, like gun, dragon.
Don't worry, we'll put
Yeah,
the names on the screen for everyone.
Yeah,
And links, of course,
like,
will be down below. Apart from that, as always, I ask my guest 2 things they'd like to see from what is left of the volume. 1 shipping thing and 1 normal thing. What would you like to see, Sunny?
one shipping thing, as y'all can see, I'm big on Bumblebee. So I don't think we are going to get a kiss, but I would really like to see an almost kiss. Something like
What, like
they're
Barbara's
almost gonna
tease?
kiss.
Yeah, Barbara's
Like,
tease from RTX of Will They Kiss?
yeah, and like I really want to see that. I like they're almost kissing and then there's an explosion or something like that, and they just look at each other like it's gonna have to wait, and then they go to fight and all of that. And for the normal thing, I am really looking forward to the Clover, Crow, and Robin versus Tyrion. Like, I've been looking forward to this fight ever since the intro came out. Like, the episode came out with the first episode came out with the intro, and like I'm really excited to see this. I'm really excited to see Crow get a rematch against Tyrion and all of that, and I think it would be amazing to see them fight.
Well, let's hope we see those soon. As
Yep.
always, thank you so much, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary pals, for tuning in on the RWBY Radio Podcast. Please, as always, tag your spoilers, be RWBY, not Salem, and I hope every single one of you has an absolutely wonderful day. Goodbye.
Bye.